You know things are going well when you hit a break and you don't want the break. You want to keep going with what you got, and we got something good with the Cavs. What an unofficial first half of the season for the Cavs as we hit the All-Star break here at 44-10. They dispatched the Raptors. Some guys heading out to San Fran for the All-Star game. What a start for the season for the Cavs. Still plenty to go. Ryan Tyler and I going to run through that first half. Favorite moment, favorite game, favorite player, biggest surprise of this Cavs team. We'll get to all of that coming up. Talking a lot of wine and gold. We'll dip our toe into the Browns situation. Ryan, I kind of want to do a non-Myles Garrett type of show today. Like, what's happened has happened. We're there. But we got to buckle up for this quarterback thing. It's starting to... We got names out there for this Browns quarterback situation going on right now. I'm going to bring one up. I know you saw the tweet. A guy that I'm not super high on.
Oh, I'm sold.
You like him?
I've flipped. I've
flipped on him.
I've had quite the transition on my Shador stance in just the last month, I'd say.
Well, they taken one of two other free agent options. A weird rumor out this morning about a franchise, at least in my opinion, a franchise guy that other teams are calling about. We'll get to that. We got our All-Star game bets coming up as well. That grid. That was embarrassing from us last week on the grid. And now we're sending the tweets out so people know how bad.
I was going to say our intern, I think it's Bailey that does it.
Shout out to Bailey. Thank you.
Exposing us.
Well, it's our fault.
No, it is.
It's our fault.
It is our fault. You're right.
We'll get to that. And all the coaching hires now with Kellen Moore is official. We'll play a little game, a little carousel on the quarterback, or on the coaching side of things from the NFL. We got it all for you, and we're happy to have you alongside right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. I love your Guardians hat, Ryan. Pitchers and catchers reporting.
Yes, I figured it's time to stop donning the Browns. I'll always don the Cavs.
I had to go Cavs. I had to go Cavs finals today, baby. Love it.
But it is damn near close to baseball time.
Dude, I got it on my ESPN ticker.
Yeah.
I got it. And Jose's been there for weeks. We'll get MLB top 10 players. Jose, outside of an egregious miss, will be in the top 10 players going into 2025. So we got it all for you right here on Big Play. Me following on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. Drop a follow there. I'm at Matt Fontana 83. Ryan's at Ryan Tyler 33. Instagram is Big Play. YouTube channel is Big Play. And as always, appreciate you alongside. Presented by our great friends at Fairway Ford. Garage beer. Oh, I got a fresh 12-pack of garage beer for my little streaming venture.
Nice.
The other night. Did you see what they got now? They got 24 packs, half lime, half just regular garage beer.
They're moving up.
I'm
waiting until they have tall boys. Or maybe they do already.
They sent some Valentine's Day thing where it was like a tall boy, but it opened on both ends, like double shotgun action there if you and your special person for Valentine's Day is ready to go. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. So appreciate our friends at Garage Beer and Fairway Ford. I appreciate the Cavs very much, man. It is so crazy that, like, this team feels so different than even the LeBron years, where, like, I don't know if I ever got this feeling in the regular season when you would play teams and just know they're going to wipe the floor with them. And it's like the Raptors are a bit of a lowly franchise right now, and congrats to Brandon Ingram for getting his deal, and Scotty Barnes looks like he doesn't like being... They were on that back end of a back-to-back, and they got a big win over Philly the night prior. But, like, when LeBron was here, nobody gave a damn about the regular season because you knew, well, whatever seed we get, we're still going to be one of the favorites to go win the title, and we did, and you'd go to the finals and all that. This is different where, like, the Cavs are a juggernaut. They are a team that you look at when you face inferior opponents and go, it was a 17-point spread. Covered, got it. Like, you just have this feeling when they take the floor, not against everybody, but even against the good teams, they just take care of their business. There are so many obscene stats about this team. One that stood out to me, got this from Tim Alcorn on the broadcast last night. 130 points last night. That is their 15th game this season that they've scored 130.
It's kind of the norm now.
A franchise record, and they got 20-odd some games to go. Like, it is insane to see what this team does. And then you see my favorite one. 59 straight games for the Cavs that they have hit 10 or more threes. That is the third longest streak in NBA history. NBA history.
They got some shooters.
The Cavs are, and I want to get to this in our next segment coming up, but like all the fun things and your favorite moments and all that, we have turned into a 3-point shooting team where there were so many years that I know the NBA has turned to a 3-point shooting league as it goes. Brian, I never would have envisioned, you basically become what the Warriors were. Like when we watch them play and you watch Steph and you're like, Klay Thompson, you go, I could just never have envisioned doing that or being that, let alone you're better than that. Like you're setting some of these records with guys like Sam Merrill and Donovan and Darius and all that. And they didn't even have excellent 3-point shooting. Certainly Darius didn't against the Raptors. But like, think about some of those things that this team has done. And to go out and take care of business and do what they needed to do. They head to the All-Star break. And that's kind of why I started where sometimes you don't want breaks. I don't want a break for this team right now. Everything is cooking. You don't have injuries. I mean, again, Dean Wade, and you're dealing with some small stuff. Strus is fighting through injury. He played. You get some guys out. But, like, everything is clicking for this team. Now, I want them to get their rest. And they'll get rest for the All-Star guys on the other side out of it, too. And it'll be a long week for them in San Fran and all that. But, like, everything is cooking for this team. And if I had to circle one thing, it's just how complete they are. Then you sprinkle in DeAndre Hunter, who's had 2 solid games. Got to stay out of foul trouble, though. All of a sudden, he just picks up a lot of these fouls quick. But, like, this team is not missing anything. They have a good coach. They have a star player. They have a unicorn type of guy like Evan Mobley. They've got a rim defender in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. They got 3-point shooters around. Now they got a wing defender. They have an extremely deep bench. Like, find me a hole on this team. And as I watch other teams try to exploit those holes, they come up with nothing. And it's different in the playoffs, and you'll shorten your rotation up in the playoffs, and that's all that matters. And I'm not missing the main goal here. I'm not missing the big picture on this Cavs team, where if they don't go to the NBA Finals, I'm going to feel like this season was not fulfilled for me. Eastern Conference Finals are great. You're going to have to run through those Celtics at some point again. But I'm going to say, if they don't make the finals, I'm going to be upset with how the season goes. But I want to stay in the moment, too. I want to sit here and take notice and take stock of how this team is built, how this team is playing. That's one thing. You could do this on paper and put these guys in these roles. They are playing and exceeding expectations because of their play on the court. And now they got the swag, they got the momentum. When they got to go play the lowly Toronto Raptors, they hang 41 on them in the first quarter and put up a 41-17 lead going to the second quarter. And yeah, they kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. The Raptors were never within 20 in that game, Ryan, which was just so much fun to see. And it is different for us as the fans to, I don't want to say enjoy the regular season ride that you're on, but it's different because I think they're out to prove something. I think they're out to show people who they are, and some of those people are us. This has been so much fun with this Cavs team, but they're showing and proving to us that we are allowed to believe the expectations that we have. And we'll find out in 3 months, as we always do, where we're going to be at and how that's going to play out. But this ride, this, again, unofficial first half of the season, I got to tell you, Ryan, this is perfect. There's nothing more that I could have wanted out of this first half, frankly.
Yeah, I think I might be a little jaded still because in the essence of, I understand you had your down days, your down years, I should say, post LeBron leaving the second time, but I still remember and still can fully grasp onto how good we were in the regular season with LeBron, because realistically, it's not that far removed. It is a decade almost coming up, but I still remember how dominant we were in the regular season and how when you lose in the finals, you feel sad. Like it wasn't a winning season, even though you were one of the last 2 teams standing. And I'm trying not to be that way with this team because it is a new regime. It's completely new players. They're young too. And it could be the start of a dynasty. I just hope, like you said, it's dangerous to have NBA Finals expectations, but what the Cavs have shown this season, how complete they are, you're literally molding the formula from the Celtics last year, basically, the way I view it. So it's hard not to have those expectations, but I'm doing my best to enjoy the moment right now and how dominant they are.
Let's call it for what it is. Let's cut right to the chase here. You were worried back with LeBron because if you didn't win titles, you were worried he's going to leave again. And eventually he did leave, and I always felt like he was going to go. But there was that added pressure, not just to win a championship and end the curse and all that, but you're like, man, if we don't win this, like, he's going to want to leave again. And everything is just so tied to this one guy where, yes, things are still very tied to Donovan Mitchell. They're very tied to Evan Mobley. And those guys are not LeBron freaking James. I understand that. But it's like, it is different because everybody is signed up. Everybody's happy. Everybody's enjoying this, and it is so different where you're spread out and you have just all these pieces. Like those Cavs teams, let's call it for what it is with LeBron, they had holes. They were missing a lot of pieces, and they tried to fill it with Kyle Korver, or they tried to fill it with Jordan Clarkson, and that's just the greatness of LeBron, that he drugged some of those teams to the finals, and obviously won the championship, but that team was pretty complete as well. But it is different because we all just sat back and were like, well, we have to win the finals. Now you're enjoying this and you just want to win the finals. Back then, you felt like you had to. You needed to. You need to exercise these demons. You wanted to get off all those stupid graphics on ESPN for how long it had been to win a championship. You had the most amount of weight that you could ever imagine on your backs and your shoulders. That's lifted now. Thank LeBron for that. Thank Dan Gilbert for that. And now it's just like you can sit back and just like, we're just going to let this ride, man. And that's where, last week we did the show and I was very wrong in my prediction that they were not going to make a move, and they went out and got DeAndre Hunter and got under the luxury tax. Kobe Altman. Who sent him over to 76 Lou Grosso?
Yeah, seriously.
Can you just help him out a little bit, please? It's over the summer.
He's no Paul DePodesta, guys.
They tried baseball. Maybe they should try basketball. Sashi got out of football, went to basketball. How'd that go? Sashi Brown's the president of the Baltimore Ravens.
I think I did know that.
Keeps a job. I don't know how. But anyway, like, it is just so fun to watch this team. And it's going to be a lot of fun to do our next segment because I want to run through favorite games, favorite moments, unsung heroes, just really recapping the first half. We're going to do it all right here on Big Play. You want to kick off the new year in the right way? Fairway Ford is the place to go. I got a road trip coming up. We have booked my brother's bachelor party. I'm very excited. Now, I have the third row in the Ford Explorer over there. So I've already signed up, and I go, you know what? I'm on. Like, I'm on to drive and load it on up, and we'll get the gear, and we got it all for you. You got some road trips coming up. You need that new vehicle. Go check them out at Fairway Ford. Now, the truck month is going on. It's every month, as you see there at the F-150. And my wife and I had this conversation a while ago. We're at the kids. She goes, well, a truck wouldn't work. And I go, you throw a tonneau cover on that bad boy, which you can get right there at Fairway Ford. Find a vehicle that's already got one or get one put on. And I said, think about it. The kids in the quad cab, crew cab, sitting in the back relaxing. They got the outlets for all the stuff they need, the heat, all that. Throw all their gear in the back. It's not going to get rained on. It's not going to get snowed on. The vehicles that you need, including the trucks, are all there at Fairway Ford. You're going with a family-owned and operated business for over 20 years. Their sales staff, half of their sales staff has been there for 15 years or more. Half of that. They're not desperate for sales. They want to make sales. You know, I'm talking about the basketball team where I want to go do this. I don't have to go win a championship, but I want to. They want to make deals with you. They want to be able to find the vehicle for you. And their lot is one of the things that separates them. Hundreds of vehicles. Hundreds of them. Including what? The 2024 Super Duties. $8,000 off, as low as 1.9%. That's your working vehicles. My brother's got a Super. He's got a King Range. And he's a carpenter. He pulls his camper with it. You need that vehicle. The dually, F-250, F-350. You're out plowing. I know, hopefully we're done with the snow. But you got a construction business. You got a landscaping business. You're looking for that fleet of vehicles. Go check them out at Fairway Ford. You can ask for Brian. He's our guy there. But everybody at Fairway Ford will take care of you. The service department is great. And it's a short drive to Canfield from downtown Cleveland. I'd make that drive any day to get $8,000 off a vehicle, man. I'd make that drive any day of the week to go see him at Fairway Ford. Add their website to your search. You're thinking about that new vehicle. Check it out. FairwayFordOhio.com. Tell them we sent you. They'll take care of you. FairwayFordOhio.com. They have a chat feature right on there. And you can peruse all the beautiful vehicles, including those Super Duties, with our friends over there at Fairway Ford. All right, want to recap the first half for the Cavs? We'll run through it all next. Fontana Show, right here on Big Play. All right, welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Download the Big Play app. Is it still going? I think it is. A giveaway?
Yeah, no, I think it is.
It is. Go download the Big Play app. Your chance to go to Vegas. Your chance to win a trip to Vegas with the Big Play crew here. We're not with us. We're going to give it to you. But download the Big Play app. You can check all the shows, all the content there. Do you see their commercial during Super Bowl? I got some texts. Everybody goes, yeah, commercial came out pretty nice over there for us. So we appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter, at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on YouTube and Instagram. Excuse me, at Big Play. All right, first half done for the Cavs. Ryan, I jotted some of these down. You tell me if you want to add any, but let's get started here, okay? First half for the Cavs. Number one, your favorite moment.
Okay.
And I want to differentiate from games.
Okay.
So is there a moment? You want to glom it in with the game?
I was gonna say the Warriors game in the beginning of the season because
that's my answer too.
Because not only did you put a butt whooping belt to ass, and I know the Warriors are removed from their heyday. They're not even close to what they were. But
at that time, they were kind of cooking.
No, they were top of the Western standings. I think they were like 12-1 at the time, and now they had their mid-season collapse. But it felt like a changing of the guard, even though it really wasn't. But it was the fact of it was Kenny Atkinson, who has Warriors ties, Steve Kerr, who was talking about the Cavs. You had Draymond Green on the podcast afterwards saying how he reminded them with their passing of that Warriors team. So there's just a lot of parallels between a dominant dynasty that they were comparing to this young Cavs team.
I loved the Darius Garland shot against the Pistons, too.
Yeah.
That win against the Celtics. Remember, the Celtics ended our streak, but then we came back and beat them. And I know they beat us again. And I can't wait for the fourth game coming up. But you do talk about taking down the big dogs and proving to yourself that you belong. I think there's like a little budding rivalry there with the Thunder. Rockets have played us tough. But one of my favorite, and I'll do this. I'll glom it into the game, too, because we're talking about that there, too. Remember that West Coast swing that they went on? They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Lakers. They beat the Warriors in San Francisco, or wherever they play now. And that was like a big test for me to believe if this team was going to be, they beat Dallas. Remember on the swing coming back, you beat Dallas? Like that West Coast swing was one of my favorite things about this team. And I guess, again, moment would be beating that Warriors team because that was just dominant. And it's also, you look back on a lot of those things and you go, that's real. What they were doing 2 months ago is real because they're still doing it to this day, which is what I love about this team. Ryan, what's your favorite thing about this Cavaliers team at this moment?
I would probably say the camaraderie.
Okay, that's a good answer.
And I know I'm not in the locker room, but from what I hear from Sam Amico on Full Court Cleveland.
Catch that Thursday nights, by the way.
I mean, just for one, I mean, you can tell. Like, you can tell when a team is actually clicking. They're having fun. The bench is smiling. Max Strus has an event at a bowling alley. The whole team's there.
I sent that tweet. I love that, too. And everybody was there, man.
Sam Amico, just to echo what he says, I mean, he's been covering the Cavs for damn near 2 decades now, and he said he's never seen a close-knit group like he has this season in the Cavs locker room.
Yeah, and that's where when they were going to go make that trade, you were kind of nervous about that. And you lost some good locker room guys in Karras and George Niang. Wish them nothing but the best. But that was a move to get better. And then you bring in a guy like DeAndre Hunter that seems like a great locker room guy and is having a lot of fun with it. I got to tell you, my favorite thing about this Cavs team is they just score. Points are fun. I used to get yelled at, and I know you yell at me about this too, when I play the under. And people go, you're a glutton for punishment. The under is not fun. Bet the over. The Cavs, I saw somebody tweeted this, they have a chance to end this season with the greatest over-under season in history as far as hitting the overs. Like, they are on a historic pace at this point on hitting overs because they just score and they don't stop. And they got games of guys dropping 30 like you don't question. Well, it's the Raptors game, right? You had 7 guys that scored 13 or more points. I would say the diverse scoring is awesome. And I do want to, there's a little offshoot I want to get to here as well. But like the other unsung guys, you got Sam Merrill and I should say Ty Jerome, that are scoring. You know, Hunter coming in and just picking up right where he left off in Atlanta. The scoring is my favorite thing. And I know that once the playoffs start, everybody says, well, defense is what's going to matter and defense is what travels. Man, I don't think you're going to lose a lot of games when you score $130. All right. And they don't do that every single night. Cavs are averaging 122 points a game. One of the better offensive net ratings in the NBA. Like, I just love their scoring, and it is a little different than a lot of these other teams. Ryan, we've never had just a gaudy bunch of points we're going to score out our ass type of teams. You know, LeBron, they'd score a lot, but it was kind of top heavy. This team just scores is my favorite thing about them right now. And yeah, they do play good defense. They have guys that should be all defensive team like Mobley and Allen, but they just keep scoring. Like, that is my favorite thing about this team. Unsung hero for the Cavs. Can't say Mobley. Can't say Allen or
So
Mitchell.
that was good. I mean, the answer to me when you talk about unsung in terms of the total impact is Jared Allen, but to go deeper than that.
Yeah, I'll give you Allen.
Well, I won't name a starter.
I'm gonna slam a guy. I think you got the same guy.
I mean,
Maybe.
if you're looking strictly at minutes to impact ratio, like how valuable their minutes are,
take out the four. Take out the big four.
The answer's Ty Jerome.
That's your answer.
The answer's Ty Jerome.
That is 100%
If you're looking at it for a guy that makes the most of his minutes, can play defense, and really just molds and see seamless transition from the bench and impact and clutch, it's been Ty Jerome.
Yeah, and that is such a position. I talked about this. Shout out to Danny Cunningham, host Locked On Cavs, and I recorded Danny's going to take a vacation because he's a slacker, and he's going to go on vacation, so we pre-recorded his show. It's going to air next week. And he asked me my 3 favorite things, and I talked about Evan Mobley. Like, we're going to talk Mobley here in a second, too. Like, how good he's been and all that. But I said that backup point guard position is so important, I think, to any team who's running it, who's scoring off the bench, and you got Ty Jerome. Now, again, people forget Ty Jerome is a veteran. He was a first-round pick. G-Leaguer, injury, and now blossoming. And a guy that I can't remember his contract situation. Like, I'd sign him to a 3-year deal right now. You know, good money, average money, that's fine. But where the hell did they find Sam Merrill? Jalen Tyson looks like he belongs, you know? Like, they just have pieces together, but I think the answer 100% has been Ty Jerome, and just what a good find that has been. Your MVP of the first half.
Wow. Can I go Kenny Atkinson?
I thought about Kenny Atkinson.
Can I go Kenny Atkinson?
Yeah, you and I are on the same wavelength as we always been. I thought about Kenny Atkinson. I think that's a good one.
But I suppose if I'm picking a player to an MVP, you know what? I'll go Darius Garland.
Okay, all right.
I'll go Darius
Garland.
That. In terms of clutch, kind of like similar to Ty Jerome. In terms of expectations, rebounding from last year, I'll give it to Darius Garland. I mean, like you could say Donovan Mitchell.
Sure, I think that might be a lot of people's answers, right?
I don't know. It seems like Darius is maybe the stitch that keeps it all together.
I think that's Mobley. I think it's Mobley. So that's why I was going to say Evan Mobley, because his development, I don't think that this is a coincidence, that his development has led to where the Cavs are at. Now, there's pieces that offshoot that. That's a different spot for Donovan Mitchell. And we've talked about it on this show before, how I'm a little worried maybe, like, is Donovan going to be able to flip that switch where they came in, they said, we're going to need a distributor, we're going to try to get Mobley going around, to flip that switch a little bit when it's needed. And frankly, I think Donovan has. Like, he shows up in the Celtics games and the games that you need, and certainly will in the playoffs. But I think it's been Evan Mobley. And you're right. I was thinking about a superlative to try to put onto this about the return of Darius Garland, or the elevation of Evan Mobley, or even Jared Allen coming back. Like, all these things, because I wanted to give credit to to Darius Garland about the return that he has had. Dude, he's back to being an all-star, as he deserves to be, after a season where I fully admit I didn't give full credit to a broken jaw, losing the weight. I was worried. I didn't know if he'd get his shot back. And I was sitting here, ripping my hair out going, man, is he going to be back? And all he did was come out and go, I'll just go make an all-star team for you, man. That's okay. I'll come back and I'll make an all-star team for you and be a pivotal piece to this team that has the best record in the NBA, which is great. All right, we've been all positive, and I like the positivity, but one thing you want to see the Cavs improve on, quote-unquote, second half of the season. It's got to be something. It's got to be something. Let's run through all the good. They shoot really well. The rebounding is solid. The bench is solid. Is there something that you can grab onto and say, that's it? The only thing that I kind of thought of was there's these defensive laps where I see the Cavs got to go to zone from time to time. We're really kind of getting into a little nitty-gritty here on that. But, like, there's just these lapses that I see. Are the Cavs a really good defensive team? I don't know. Now with DeAndre Hunter, and maybe that's the the piece that we needed to kind of do this. A true wing defender out there. There's just moments that I see, and granted, these are really great players, but I see guys just kind of take over and go through runs. Like, we're really nitpicking here because this team is really good. I just think there's some gaffes on defense that I'd like to see him clean up, and I think they will. Because Kenny came in, and he was like, we got to focus on the offense first, which they did, and they've had a fantastic start. I guess it's more like the perimeter defending, kind of outside the paint. I trust Mobley and Allen down there, but it's like the other guys kind of around there has my concern. It's always going to be a concern when I have two undersized guards that aren't really great defenders with Garland and Mitchell. And they're going to be out there, and that's fine if they can just score on the other end. I don't really care. But I guess if I really need to get nitpicky, that's kind of something I'd go with.
Yeah, bear with me. I don't know if this will make too much sense, but when you're playing teams like the Raptors, you're playing teams like the Pistons, you're playing teams, not even the Pistons, honestly, anymore.
Yeah,
They've exceeded expectations. They're nowhere near the Raptors. The 76ers, that's funny. They're closer to the Raptors than the Pistons are. I want to see you they turn their swag on so easy, and they're muscling. And not that they're not doing it in big games, but I want to see it more often in big games.
Sure,
you're going against the Jason Tatums, when you're going against the Shais.
Yeah,
and that's just me nitpicking. Like you said.
This was going to be a nitpicky thing anyway.
But I want to I'm still waiting for them, and maybe this won't come until the playoffs because it won't be. There'll be more eyes on it, and the narrative will be shifted. Like, really be that team that everybody's scared of, and right now they are.
Yeah, no, and they are, and one of the best records in the NBA. They've beaten some good teams. They take care of business. We're not done with the NBA because to wrap the show up, we'll get some of our wagers in for All-Star Weekend. We'll run through some of the rosters. We got Darius in the three-point competition. We got a couple guys in the skills competition. So we'll get to all that coming up. But next, buckle up, because I think it's about to start getting crazy with the Browns quarterback situation here. And we got names starting to get floated out from a free agent standpoint. Shador says he's coming to Cleveland for his visit. Buckle on up. We'll talk about it next. Stay with us. All right, silly season is upon us, and I'm not talking about the weather where it rains, then it freezes, then it snows. No, I'm talking about the NFL offseason. We're done. Eagles. What did I say? I told you about the defense, man. I told you defense was going to get it done for them.
You sure did.
Mahomes cooked. No, I'm just kidding. Kelsey going to retire? They say the report this morning was people inside the organization there think he's done.
I thought he was going to be done before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But Super Bowl done, well into the offseason. Starting to get silly out there with some of the options. I got to bring a name up for you. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Matt Fontana, Ryan Tyler. Follow us on Twitter at Matt Fontana Show. YouTube is Big Play. Download that Big Play app for a chance to win a trip to Las Vegas. So everybody is just freaking out. And I want to start. I'm setting this Myles Garrett stuff aside, man, because we know the situation they're in. There's people that feel like they'll sign him to a deal and this will all calm down. They ain't trading him before June 1st. They're not going to do that. So I'm really just...
I don't know. I know you're
they
set
can't
on that.
For this, the salary cap. They just can't. And I don't want picks in this draft. I just don't.
And that's what it boils down to.
I don't want picks in this draft. I'm fine. So you're going to get him for the future anyway. Save yourself some money. If they do actually trade him.
If you could get, let's just say a crazy scenario. You trade him before you eat more of that money. Like, yes, right. It's a big hit you can make work. But what if I told you in this draft you could get Shador and Abdul Carter? Just in a crazy scenario.
I sent this out because all these mocks all of a sudden have the Browns passing on both quarterbacks. Dude, I'm just like, especially Cam Ward. God, are you insane? And the write-up, and I'm not ripping Field Yates. I love Field Yates. And all these other people that do mocks. And you know me, man. I am addicted to mocks. I love mock drafts. The whole week has been Abdul Carter, 2 for the Browns. And the write-up, it's over and over. Well, they need to replace Myles Garrett. And if they trade for Myles Garrett, why does Myles Garrett want to trade? It's because we don't have a quarterback. Solve that. Solve that first. And this is not an anti-Abdul Carter take. Like, I'm sure he's going to be fine, all right? He doesn't play quarterback. Don't lose sight of why you are in this problem. It's like if your car breaks down and your engine is broken, but I got to fix my flat tire first. You can't drive it. Your engine is broken. Why would you fix the tire before you fix the engine? Fix the quarterback and then worry about everything else. Because, well, these quarterbacks aren't worth it. They said the same, like, dude, all these scouts, Mahomes needs to go back to college for another year. Oh my God, Josh Rosen is going to be amazing. Sam Darnold's going to be a not missed prospect. Okay, where are we at now? Like, take one. And I want Cam Ward at 2, and I don't think he's going to be there. But all these people just instantly jumping and thinking that Myles Garrett's going to have them draft Abdul Carter at 2. I can't buy that. I'm just not going to buy that. If Cam Ward is there, you do not think twice. You walk up, you put that freaking card in.
Unless Shador is there.
I know Ryan's big on Shador Sanders. Can I ask you real quick why?
Yeah.
What is flipped? You said earlier, you're like, we just flipped so much. I'm interested. I really am.
Yeah, well, actually, before that, I'd be fine with Cam Ward. And in fact,
Sure.
if Cam Ward's there, I'm fine with the Browns taking him ahead of Shador. I'm just operating under the Titans are taking Cam Ward.
I very much believe that too.
So, and Shador, to your point, this is why I'm on Shador, because great analogy, by the way. You're an analogy man with the car and the engine. Nothing matters if you don't have a quarterback. To me, you drafted Myles Garrett in 2017. You got Baker. Okay, it kind of worked out with Baker, but it didn't get you the ultimate goal. And in that process, you got guys like Njoku. You got guys like Denzel Ward, right? You got guys like
Chubb and you traded for White.
But none of it mattered, and now you're reaping what's the opposite of a benefit?
I mean, you're reaping what you sow.
You're reaping what you sow.
That's it. Yeah.
And now these players went out. They're hurt. They're old. They're considering retiring in Joel Bitonio's case.
Yeah.
And all that was for nothing because you didn't have a quarterback.
Correct.
Go make a swing.
Yeah.
Go get your quarterback.
And then it's going to be development for any of these guys. Like, that's the thing. I'm not asking any of these guys to start week 1. I don't want them to start. I don't care who you draft. Don't start them week 1. One other thing I wanted to throw in, I listened to Todd McShay's podcast, and he said, he was talking Jackson Dart, Shador Sanders. He's big on Jackson Dart. Now, I'm out on Dart, but he said, he might even have him on the same level as Shador Sanders. Funny how the Jalen Milroe stuff is just falling off because of the Senior Bowl. Watch it. It'll come back during the combine. Like, and McShay just talked about this. He said, Jackson Dart sees the reads before they're open. His stats weren't that gaudy because Trey Harris, his number 1 receiver, missed a good chunk of the second half of the season. And they said he's got some bad mistakes. Okay, fine. But they just love Jackson Dart. And actually, my concern with Jackson Dart was his arm strength. You know what Todd McShay said? If 1 is elite, he says Jackson Dart's a 2. And I'm like, well, that's more credit than I really thought, maybe, for Jackson Dart. So as that starts to ramp up and you maybe start thinking 33 and all this other kind of stuff, the Browns don't know what they're going to do. And right, you got to wait to see what the Titans do. They're going to go through. They're going to meet with Shador. Of course they are. The free agent side, though, obviously is going to be first. And I think that's where things are starting to heat up. Can I get you a name?
Please.
Derek Carr. He's going to get released. They're going to post June 1 him, and he'll be available probably in the coming weeks here. Let's add him to that list. Aaron Rodgers, no, absolutely not. Kirk Cousins, okay. Are you buying this Stafford stuff that he's getting maybe shopped around? I don't. I think he goes back to the Rams, but we'll see. Add Derek Carr, as you know, being available. There's a report out this morning the Steelers called about Trevor Lawrence.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not giving up what it would
we
take
can't
to get
pay him. We can't pay him. So what does it matter? But as this all starts to open up, and you know now that the Jets need a quarterback, the Raiders need a quarterback, the Titans need a quarterback, and all that, we can't forget about this veteran crop. And if I could pick a scenario, if I could rub on a magic 8-ball or my crystal ball or whatever, you sign a Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, one of those two.
The latter would be better in my opinion.
Sure, I would agree with that. You still draft your Cam Ward. I guess maybe Shador.
So talk to me about Shador, Matt. What is it? The raw talent that
no,
you
I
think
think
is an
he's
issue?
got raw talent. I think he's got accuracy. I just think that winning from the pocket is something he's going to have to learn how to do.
I mean, you can make the argument he's better in the pocket than Cam Ward.
Cam makes some hero plays, and that gets him in trouble a little bit too. I also like Cam just because he's a little bit bigger than Jackson Dart's like 6'2" on a good day. Shador's a little smaller. Like, I do have a height, weight type thing that I'm looking at, too. And the arm strength, certainly. Cam's got the best arm in this class. Oh, I want to say best arm in this class, but of the big top quarterbacks, like, he's got a rocket for an arm. So those are all the things that I like about Cam Ward. If the Browns, which I know a lot of people don't want to hear about Andrew Berry about this, if they decide that Shador is their guy, take him. I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm on board with a quarterback. I want Cam, but I will talk myself into Jackson Dart. I will talk myself into Will Howard or Quinn Ewers. If they believe that that is the right guy, do it. But you still have got to have a veteran guy here. I don't want anybody that you draft starting week 1. I want them to do the Drake May. You sit them for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and if you keep winning, then great, sit them on down. It goes bad, all right, well, then we're going to turn things over to the rookie, let them cut their teeth, and we'll figure it out from there, right? That's what I want. It was actually funny. Drake May was a big comparison for Jackson Dart on Todd McShay's podcast. Big comparison they kept bringing up with Drake May. I'd take him any live long day, right? But, like, as we get into the silly season, we start to try to figure out exactly what the Browns want to do. There's just, don't forget they still got to get a free agent in here. And I'm going to, Derek Carr might be it for me now. That might be my new number 1. Like, that's just going to happen for them. So I think that might be it. Then you still go draft the guy, and we got plenty of discussion to have getting up to the draft on that. All right, speaking of coaching out there, new coaches around the cycle, we're going to run through all of them. Best hire, worst hire, first one to win a playoff game, first fired one, and the one you want to watch the most. We'll go around the carousel of NFL head coaches. We'll do it next. All right, we'll fly through this. Ryan Tyler, welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Grid coming up in a second. But we got our NFL head coaching hires. I got 5 superlatives that I want to pick. You ready? Yep. Best hire, worst hire, the first one fired, the first one to win a playoff game, and the one you want to watch the most of all the NFL coaches. You got the list, so let's pull that up so we're reminded.
Oh, just kidding.
We'll get to that in a second. All right, so here we go.
Obviously, Saints have Kellen Moore.
Yes, and Kellen Moore, that just happened this week. They were waiting for him the whole time, so here we go. All right, Vrabel, Johnson, Glenn, Liam Cohen, Pete Carroll, Schottenheimer, Saints. I will go first.
Okay.
Best hire of any of these.
And regardless of what you pick, I'm going to try and differ from you.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, I'm down to 2, and I think it might be the same 2 that you have.
It probably is the same 2.
I'll go Ben Johnson.
Okay, that's fine.
Bears. Caleb Williams, I still think is it, but like Rome and Keenan Allen and everything else, I think he's the best hire because he was the number 1 hire. Like, Vrabel probably might have been, but I think that was just cinched and locked, and you just knew he was going back to the Patriots, right? So the actual available candidates, he was number 1, and the Bears got him. Therefore, I have to give him the best hire here. Your answer.
Yeah, I'm going Vrabel. I very well would have been
Yep.
Ben Johnson, but I'm going to go Vrabel for just to differ.
Sure.
And this might be the number 1 pick. I mean, you talk about, Ben Johnson might have been the most, wanted in a way because the youngness, the offensive genius.
Offensive is the answer, yes.
But Vrabel,
that kind of divides
you have a failure with Gerard Mayo, a first-year head coach. You get a guy that you go the opposite route, a proven guy who has won. And I mean, if he won with Ryan Tannehill, has gone to AFC championships, I'm assuming he can make it work with Drake May. If you get a couple more offensive pieces in there, I mean, that'll be good. And then, I mean, if you get the right coordinators with Vrabel, I don't see how you could have a losing culture. And I think when you're in a kind of rebuild, going from a guy like Bill Belichick, you need to get back to some of that. And I don't think Gerard Mayo offered that. I mean, whether he had unfair hand dealt to him, that might have been one thing. But I think it was an overall safe and high upside hire for the Patriots.
The other one that I wanted to give some credit to was Aaron Glenn. I love that hire. I think that was a really good hire. Now, am I a little suckered in on his press conference? Then he comes out and he tells Aaron Rodgers, the report came out, he said to Aaron Rodgers, he goes, you want to stick around here, you better stop doing Pat McAfee's show.
Yeah, which was warranted.
Right. I think right and warranted on it 100%. But I like that hire for them too. So that was kind of my one on the side. All right, the worst hire in your opinion. I'll let you go first on this. I have a stone cold lock on this one.
Do you?
Yes. Of that list.
Worst hire, and it's hard, but I'll go with Brian Schottenheimer.
Okay, all right, okay.
And this isn't necessarily an anti-Brian Schottenheimer take. If you're the Cowboys, I would have understood. It just seems like this is another yes man for Jerry Jones. I would have liked somebody proven who can work with Dak, work with CeeDee Lamb. It's an internal hire, so it's never exciting.
I listen to that. He was there, and you weren't doing anything. What do you think is going to change? He was there. He should have.
It seems like for the Cowboys, you needed a bit of a culture shock. You needed something outside of Jerry Jones' influence, and I understand Jerry Jones doesn't want to do that. So you went with somebody unproven, an internal hire that's not exciting, and that might be part of the reason I choose this. To me, it didn't move the needle.
Should have just kept Mike McCarthy. They screwed up by mishandling this Mike McCarthy situation 100%. My easy answer for this is Liam Cohen. What?
Yeah.
And here's the one thing. Of that list, all those other guys, championship, been there, done that. What the has Liam Cohen ever done? 1 year as the offense coordinator with Tampa Bay. Okay, he turned Baker around that and that. Before that, Kentucky for a year, like college. Then he was with the Rams. Then he was back at Kentucky. Ryan, he's not kept a job for more than 2 years since 2019. He has just jumped back and forth, doing this and doing that. What was the draw to Liam Cohen? I really am I'm missing this part of it. And it's a little like Schottenheimer, where it's like, okay, they got an offensive mindset. Can they lead? Can they do this? Then alone, you're joining a Jags franchise, which has been an unmitigated disaster for the last couple of years. I mean, I know they made the playoffs with Peterson, all that kind of stuff, but like, that was one where I was like, same thing with Schottenheimer. You needed a veteran guy that's doing this. I did not understand that Liam Cohen hire in any stretch of the imagination.
It seems like they would have loved Ben Johnson, so they got off-brand Ben Johnson. You saw what he did with Baker, and you hope that he could do that with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, literally. He's like, like an off-brand, like I'm trying to think right now, like an off-brand tortilla chip.
I think of all the pops.
Yeah.
It's not Mountain Dew. It's
what was it, Dr. Pibb or something?
No, Dr. Pibb is good. Yeah.
Sorry, Liam. Duval.
You go to the store and you see Sprite, but over here is, I can't even think of any. Like Star used to be Sierra Mist or whatever, but it's like he's an off-brand pop. He's an off-brand pop is what Liam Cohen is, so I agree with you 100%. All right, next up, the first coach on this list to be fired from their job. So let's talk about this. It ain't going to be Vrabel. They're going to give him every opportunity on the sun. I don't think it's going to be Ben Johnson. Schottenheimer, he's got a quick trigger finger. Honestly, my answer here is Pete Carroll.
I was thinking
Pete Carroll too. I almost wanted to put him for like the hire I didn't like. He's 72.
I don't hate the hire, but the thing is with that, and if we're talking about first fired, it's
you got to start with a crazy owner, which
you're in your mid-70s.
You got that.
You're in your mid-70s. There's no waiting it out with Pete Carroll, I don't think. No. Especially if you have a down year and some hotshot coordinator comes out. Are the Raiders really going to want to stick with Pete if they have a chance to go get like next year's Ben Johnson if there is one?
Yeah. The other thing is, it shouldn't necessarily, not even necessarily a firing, but like the first to leave, because you could see him be like, oh, mutual parting the ways, or he actually didn't want to really get back into this. So I think Pete Carroll is the answer. Your answer there too as well?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, of that list, first one to get a playoff win. So the thing is, you got to take into account all these things, right? Quarterback. Who on that list is the best team? Is it the Bears?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, it's the Bears.
I'd listen to the Patriots. I'd listen to, crazy enough, the Jets. Like, they got all those pieces. They find a quarterback.
I just don't see how they could get a quarterback.
But then let's take this to another level here. Talk about the divisions they're in.
Sure.
You really think the Jets are going to be able to make some way there in the AFC East?
I know. I always want to consider divisions, but when I do, I get so surprised.
I know. So it's like easy to say one of the South, because the NFC South is bad and the AFC South is kind of bad. So that would be the Saints. That would be
to get a playoff win or just to make the playoffs?
Either one. Make the playoff. Well, let's rephrase it. Of that list, pull the list back up. I need it up.
I'll go Ben Johnson. I think that's the safest bet.
That's the best division in football, though.
Yeah, is it though? In the regular season, it was.
It was. That's true. Yeah.
And the turnaround. Yeah. I mean, we'll see with J.J. McCarthy. Lions are losing both coordinators. Packers are always going to be good because Matt LaFleur. But I'll go Ben Johnson here. I think if Mike Vrabel might have the most long-lasting effect, but Ben Johnson next year, the defense was fine. Yeah. And if you can actually get the most out of Caleb Williams and you see a sophomore breakout, I think that's probably the safest bet.
I'm also going to go Ben Johnson, but I will say Aaron Glenn is also my pick. I think the Jets, if they could find it, it's a tough division, but they had a lot of pieces on that team. They have a lot of, and if he could, I think of all of that list, by the way, I think he's the biggest culture changer. To your point about Vrabel, he's just rejoining the culture. I think Aaron Glenn's coming in boot to ass and be like, we're changing some of this stuff right here and now.
Same thing about Saleh, though.
Yeah, I was never a big Robert Saleh guy, though. Never that. All right, final one of that list, the one you're most excited to see what happens. My answer is Mike Vrabel.
Okay.
You're back in the nest. You're back in the group. How far does that go? What are you going to do with Drake May? Of all that list, the one I'm most interested to see is definitely Mike Vrabel with the Patriots.
I'm going to go Ben Johnson again. The most I'm excited to see. I mean, offensive fireworks. And it's interesting to see because they could have gone a safer route, quote unquote safer, what you would expect to be in a guy like Mike McCarthy. But you got this number 1 overall pick in Caleb Williams, who you gave the keys to before you even handed in his name to draft him.
Yeah.
Is supposed to be a generational talent. I mean, we knew who the number 1 pick was before the draft even started. You pair that up with maybe the riskier, young, hotshot coordinator that you hope to pair and get the most out of that grouping. So I'm willing to see how that turns out for the Bears.
Love it. All right, we got to go quick here. We got the grid. We'll get to it next. It's going down this week. Let's go. All right, we got to fly. We're way over. Fontana Show, big play. Here we go. And it's time for the Immaculate Grid. I like it because we're going to be a little fast here. Maybe it helps us when we get moving quick here on the grid. Ryan's got it. Here we go. Immaculate Grid. All right, quick. 1,000 yards. Jamar T. Demaryius Thomas.
All right, T. All right. Oh, there's so many Thomases. I don't know.
Yeah, just go. You might be off.
You know I can't spell Demaryius.
Yeah, that's fine. That slows us down.
Oh, I found it.
Found it.
Jets, we can go.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. a lot of Wilson. Myles Garrett, maybe? Who knows? All right. Okay.
All right, Fitzpatrick's got to be one of those.
He played for... Yeah, 100%. I mean...
Texans, right? Or no? Did he play for the Texans?
Maybe he didn't.
Because I thought he played Bengals, too.
Well, Texans, Bengals, we can go Joe Mixon.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good call. All right, Jags, Carlos Hyde never played any of those other places.
Jags, Bengals, Marvin Jones.
Good call. Okay.
What are you feeling?
I'm just trying to think quarterbacks is usually the best way to go.
Okay.
All right, Schaub, no.
Blaine Gabbert, I don't think
so. Blake Bortles, don't think so. Tebow, no. Well, Tebow was on Jacksonville, but it wasn't for the regular season. Brandon Marshall doesn't work
Jets, Jaguars. Is that CJ Uzomah?
Did he play in Jacksonville?
I don't know.
Okay.
Texans, Broncos. That's Brock Osweiler, right?
Sure.
Right?
I remember him in Houston.
Didn't we get him from Houston?
Oh, that's right.
But did he play a game?
I'm sure he did, yeah. I did. Yeah, sure.
That would suck if we got this one.
We're on a time crunch as it goes. All right, good job.
Oh,
and in a Browns uniform, too. Well done, Brock Osweiler. I like it. All right, Jets, Texans.
Did Frank Gore play for the Texans?
I don't think so. I thought about a guy like Jalen Petrie, but I don't know. No. We're getting too much into it here. Brandon Cooks didn't go to the Jets. Dalvin Cook never played for Houston.
Lamar Miller didn't go to the Jets.
Lamar Miller never played for the Jets. Sam Darnold didn't play in Houston. Mark Sanchez didn't go to Houston.
What is Jaguars Jets? Why is that like... Something's screaming at me.
Okay, it's not Calvin Ridley. It's not.
Oh, Broncos. Maybe this was it. Broncos, Jaguars, Julius Thomas.
Oh, yeah, good call.
It's like some tight end is just screaming at me.
Good call. All right, Jets, Jags.
Jamal Adams didn't play for the Jags.
No, he didn't go to the. No, you're right. Yeah, no. Wait, no. Where did Jamal Adams start his career?
The Jets. Then he went to Seattle.
Then he went to Seattle.
Then he's in like Tennessee or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Carlos Hyde didn't play for the Jets.
No.
Calais Campbell? Did he play for the Jets?
I don't remember if he played for the Jets.
What team's he on now?
I don't know. He moves a lot. He's in Oh, is he in Jackson? No, he is in Jacksonville. I don't think he ever played for the Jets, though. Like, Leonard Williams never went to the Jags.
Jets, Texans.
I mean, can we think of kickers? We pull the kickers here. Here's the thing. Ryan Fitzpatrick works. Tyrod Taylor.
He played for.
I want to talk myself into either one of them. I know he played for the Jets.
Mark Sanchez.
Wait, Tyrod Taylor. Wait a minute. Is that not Tyrod Taylor, Jets, Texans?
Did he play for the Jets?
Yeah, he's there this year. He was Aaron Rodgers' backup this year.
He was on the Texans, right?
I think it's Tyrod Taylor.
I think he was on the.
I think he is. Yeah. Rip it. Okay.
All right.
Come on.
Eric Decker.
I want to believe it, but I don't think he played in Jacksonville.
LaVisca Chenault.
Miles Austin. LaVisca Chenault's a good pull. Cam Robinson, the offensive lineman. I don't think so. I'm trying to think of like top picks that Jacksonville has had over the years. Offensive line, I got nothing. Defensive backs, I can't think of anything. Mark Brunell. Did he play for the Jets? I have no idea. I want to talk myself into it, but I don't know. Fitzpatrick never played for Jacksonville.
Tebow, no. AJ Bouye, where do you
That's
go?
a good pull, but I don't think so. DBs.
Paul Posluszny, Paul Kruger.
No. I mean, Josh McCown. Did he ever play in Jacksonville?
Josh Johnson.
Yeah, I was thinking him too, but I don't think that works there. A kicker would be really nice here. A kicker would be great. But
Matt Randy? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Seibert. Does Brandon McManus work? I know he just got in trouble. He was in Denver. I don't remember if he kicked in Jacksonville. Or he kicked with the Jets. I know he kicked in Jacksonville. I can't remember if he kicked for the Jets or not. Oh, man. I don't even know if I have a good answer.
I know.
And we're on a massive time crunch right now. I can't even.
I know.
I can't even think of a good guess.
Who are the running backs?
I mean, Fred Taylor was their big guy forever.
Did Frank Gore ever play for?
I don't think so. I want him to, but I don't think so.
Leonard
Shady
Fournette?
McCoy, I don't think so. Leonard Fournette.
Isaiah Crowell? Did he play for Jaguars?
Might have to rip that. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know, but we're out of time.
How cool that would be. Crowell. Should I just rip it?
Rip it. I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Mark Brunell.
I thought about it. That's my fault. Plus, you're on a time crunch. It's no good.
Yeah.
All right, NBA All-Star bets. Wrap it up next. All right, let's rip through quick NBA All-Star Weekend. Team Shaq is the favorite. They got LeBron, Steph, AD, Jason Tatum, Durant, Lillard. That's the favorite there. Kenny's All-Stars.
His young stars.
They're plus 340 for Kenny Smith. Jokic, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Chuck's team.
Anthony Edwards, Jalen
Brunson, Darius Garland, all that. Scrolling down, Chuck's team.
Global
Jokic,
stars.
Shai. They're the favorite. Actually, I like Team Chuck plus 190. What do you think?
Yeah.
Unless you want to take the favorite, which again is Shaq's team.
No.
Candace's team is the young.
Shai, Giannis, Wemby, and Donovan Mitchell.
That's plus 190 there for you.
Chucks.
All-Star Game MVP. Shai and LeBron are plus 700. Steph, Anthony Edwards, 800. Webby is 1,000. Durant, Tatum, and the rest of the crew plus 1,200 or long. You like anybody from that?
Give me Donovan Mitchell MVP, baby.
Donovan Mitchell is plus 2,000 for you. Three-point contest. Dame is plus 400. Plus 450 for Darius Garland. He's the second favorite. Norm Powell, Buddy Hield, Tyler Hero is actually maybe where I would go plus 650 there.
All I know is Mac McClung dunk contest.
Dunk contest, he is a minus 230 favorite over three other guys I don't even know. I know Stephon Castle, but I know the rest of them. And skills competition, the Cavs are in this at plus 210. Got to roll with the Cavs. I love it. All right, appreciate everybody's support. Go download that Big Play app. Check us out on Twitter at Matt Fontana Show. Big Play, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll talk to you.